Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 1 o'clock news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. We've got news out of New Bern where two men who were involved in a shooting may have different charges after a woman was killed in the shootout. Now, New Bern police say the two men were in an argument and shooting at each other in the area of News Boulevard and Glen Burnie Road shortly before midnight. Kaisa Hamilton, 21 of New Bern, was hit by one of the shots and later died at Carolina East Medical Center, according to police. Now, police have charged 20-year-old Okoye Kuntz and 25-year-old D'Anthony Scott with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. They say the district attorney's office may update the charges against the two men now that the victim has died. Kuntz and Scott are being held without bond. Now we need to check in with Ryan Nobles, who has more on the status of the government shutdown and potentially how long it could continue.
We've now entered day 9 of the federal government shutdown, and there is no sign of any progress. In fact, things seem to be going the wrong way. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, we saw lawmakers confronting each other in the hallways, yelling at each other over the progress of these talks without any real sign of true negotiations. The problems seem to be the same. Democrats are insistent that they want some negotiation around health care, while Republicans are unwilling to take that step until they pass a short-term spending plan to get the government back open. As it stands right now, the Senate voted yet again on a plan that would do just that. It did not pass. They're expected to do it again today with the same result. Meanwhile, we're fast approaching the October 15th date where military members will miss out on their first paycheck, and there's no real end in sight to this shutdown.
And again, thank you, Ryan, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast. And of course, the big focus over the next few days is now the area of low pressure that's going to form along the frontal boundary that gave us the rain yesterday. We're also, again, seeing strong winds already across eastern North Carolina, tied into the very development of that low pressure system. So here's kind of an early look at exactly what we are going to be tracking through both Saturday and Sunday, and really for that matter, Friday as well. Coming up for tomorrow, there's that area of low pressure down just off the Florida coast. It'll slowly inch its way northward, collecting a lot of moisture as it moves northward, but also deepening as a low pressure system. That means that the low pressure system will get stronger, increasing the winds kind of circulating around that central low pressure zone. It is going to be a very windy weekend, but again, I don't anticipate we'll see widespread tropical storm force winds. Right now, anticipating gusts along and east of Highway 17, generally around 30 to 40 miles an hour with sustained winds between 20 to 30 miles an hour. Once you get on the western side of Highway 17, wind speeds more sustained at 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts possibly up to 30 miles an hour. This is a system that could create some coastal flooding issues, particularly around beaches that are facing to the northwest. Those of you across Ocracoke, sound side flooding will be an issue at times this weekend, particularly around high tides. Those of you watching along the Neuse River in Craven County also should prepare for some higher water levels. Seeing water level rise anywhere between around 1 to 2 feet just down the Neuse River. For those of you again on Ocracoke, could see upwards around 3 feet water level rise above normal, and then you got to add in a high tide. Right now, king tide is expected to end on Sunday, but that's when our strongest winds will be present. So still anticipating again very high water levels over the weekend, despite the rain showers mostly coming in on Saturday. Now currently not tracking any rain across the east for today. Cloud cover is present across some areas, but the northeasterly wind is keeping our air very dry, and that's going to make it difficult for any of those clouds to produce any sort of raindrops. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen temperatures fall between around 5 to 10 degrees throughout most of the east, and it's not just your air temperatures that have come down. Right now reading in the upper 60s to low 70s, but your humidity. I think that's what you really notice when you step out the door is that, okay, we're not feeling that same sort of humidity that we had yesterday. 24-hour dew point change shows a 15 to about 25-degree drop. That is significant. That is change you can feel, and that is actually change that's going to be sticking with us through the weekend. Dew points in the upper 40s to low 50s right now. Very autumn-esque. Comes at proper time. Here we are in October, heading towards the middle of the month. And yeah, we should be talking about lower humidity, especially when you're faced with winds like these. Right now, 10 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds out of the northeast for just about all of eastern North Carolina. There's a few areas, again, not really seeing that same sort of breeze, but gusts are even higher than that. Right now, wind gusts range between around 15 up to about 30 miles an hour. Stronger gusts, obviously, closer to the coast, closer to the Outer Banks, but those winds are going to get stronger throughout eastern North Carolina as that low pressure system inches its way closer to us. Again, it will be developing, that low, developing today and tomorrow, gathering up quite a bit of moisture, but then deepening as it does so. And the deeper a low pressure system gets, again, I think I said it earlier a few moments ago, but the faster the winds will rotate around that low. This, again, is going to be a system that will challenge Tropical Storm Jerry to see which system can have the lower central pressure reading. Right now, Jerry is sitting with a central pressure of 999 millibars, which right now is equating to sustained winds of 65 miles an hour and gusts up to 75 miles an hour. The area of low pressure that's going to be rolling over eastern North Carolina, models are suggesting that could drop down to around 992, 991, or maybe even 990 millibars, a little bit lower than where Jerry is right now. Now, the reason why Jerry is still going to have stronger winds is because those winds are going to be blowing over the water. There's less topography, less trees, there's less friction with the ground, so those winds can get going faster, and there's nothing really slowing them down. So that's why, again, we're not anticipating that sort of tropical storm force widespread wind field across eastern North Carolina, despite that area of low pressure getting stronger and competing with a tropical system as far as central low pressure goes. Before this weekend, plan on wet and windy conditions. Saturday will be the wetter of the 2 days. We'll see, again, more spotty showers coming in on Sunday, but Saturday we will start with rain along the Crystal Coast, and that line of rain will march northward through the day, soaking everyone by the time we get to around lunchtime and then through the afternoon. Those rain showers will remain heavy overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning, but through the day on Sunday, those rain showers will gradually start to taper off. As that happens, though, winds will continue to accelerate, anticipating the stronger winds to show up on Sunday and then gradually decrease on Monday as the area of low pressure pulls away from eastern North Carolina. Again, this is expected to lead to some coastal flooding, particularly for areas and beaches that have north to northwesterly facing beaches. That's where we could experience the higher coastal flooding ranges. Once we get done with Monday, though, everything looks really calm and comfortable. Overnight lows in the mid-50s will keep humidity down. Got plenty of sunshine for your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And air temperatures in the mid-70s, feeling pretty good. So again, a little bit of a rough weather weekend to get through, but we do have quite a bit of sunlight at the end of the tunnel coming up for next week that should, again, have everybody feeling comfortable and pleased, as the following weekend right now is looking like it'll hang on to that sunshine and those comfortable temperatures and comfortable conditions, unlike what we are going to be seeing for this coming weekend. Well, that's all we have time for today's 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at 2 o'clock. Until then, have a wonderful Thursday.